everybody. Welcome back. This is our 4th episode. Thank you for sticking with the series so far. We're super excited to keep going forward with more episodes. As always, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to do all those YouTube things. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave us a comment about what you thought about the episode, share the video with a friend. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, do the podcast stuff. Follow the podcast and, again, share the podcast with folks who think would like it. We're really excited to continue doing this. Really hope that you all are enjoying the show as well. And it would mean the world to us if you could spread the word. But with that, I don't think we have anything else, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into episode 4. So, last time, your travel as a group through the sewers on behalf of the strange elven man named Vinny came to a climax as he faced down a large, powerful Sahuagin named Barracuda. Though he left several of you badly battered, you emerged from the battle victorious. After looting his lair, you all returned to Vinny, informed him of what had happened in the sewers, and completed your trial for him in a satisfactory manner. He seems pleased with your work. He told all of you that the job that you would all be doing to finally repay your various debts to him would be in a 10 days time, and told you to return to Butcher's Butcher then, same time in the evening as you came for the sewer job. After leaving, some of you decided to go to the bar Stevedore Steins together to enjoy some drinks, but Nix and Bowman sort of bowed out for the evening. Nix went home, had a conversation with her mother, and left some money hiding around the house. And Bowman had a strange dream wherein the purple dragon that graced his home country's flag spoke to him. Meanwhile, the rest of you went to the bar, enjoyed your drinks, had some conversations with each other and with other patrons of the establishment. Janara asked her friend, the barkeep Sanctuary, if he could possibly open up a couple jobs for Nix and Bowman, who had expressed displeasure with their jobs earlier in the evening. And Artemis paid for drinks for the entire establishment, very quietly on the side. But after, and Octavia discovered that apparently there's a dragon that's a boss of one of these shipping yards. After enjoying your drinks, you all, one by one, made your way home and awoke the next morning to a variety of things coming up, from a letter cutting your allowance, Artemis, to a couple of conversations with your fathers, Penny and Octavia, and finally, Janara, you, while training that morning with your caretaker / mentor, Joyce, had a conversation with her as well, where you talked about what had happened, a little bit about what had happened the previous evening. And she told you that she believed the tiefling woman that was working with Vinny, Freedom, was a trustworthy individual. So that is where we left off. As we have about we have a full 10-day before the big job that's coming up. So we got a little bit of downtime. Several of you have jobs to do. So obviously, you know, in order to continue your gainful employment, you will need to go to work. But for Penny and Octavia, since the two of you are working on a story together, work could sort of be whatever the two of you decide is appropriate for doing that job. But I'll just go around and we'll sort of figure out what everybody is sort of doing during their days off. I'll actually roll for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Artemis, you are actually up first for us. What does Artemis get up to in the 10-day before the job?
Let's see. Handful of things. First and foremost, we got to dry clean those clothes.
Sure.
So I presume there's some sort of tailor or service.
Yeah. There's a tailor and cleaning service that you use.
Great.
Probably the hotel you stay at may actually probably has its own sort of cleaning service for clothes. As it is a upper class establishment. So easy to get that taken care of right in the hotel, actually.
Great. Seeing as I'm such a big bad adventure right now and just in danger all the time, I'm going to go and adorn myself as such and go to the tailor. And I just want, a handful of, new outfits.
Sure.
All with tailcoats, all new tight pants, various vests. But the vest, I want them a little extra padded.
Okay.
For a little extra armor, because I took so many hits last time.
Sure.
So mechanically looking to buy some studded leather.
Yeah, sure. Great. Yes. Easy enough to do. You give instructions to sort of pad the vest a little bit more for the outfit. So that's not the right page. You can get that taken care of. The additional reinforcement brings the cost of the outfit that features the vest to the vest itself with the specialized reinforcements, since we're flavoring it as studded leather, is going to be 45 gold pieces to get that done, as it is a specialized job. So we'll say that's the cost of that whole outfit. If you want to buy any other outfit pieces, you're welcome to do so. But we'll say that's the cost of the whole outfit. So, okay,
great.
yeah. You buy a couple other you buy a couple other like tailcoats and other various things. We'll say toss another, depending on how many different jackets and pants and combinations, you can add an additional, anywhere from an additional 5 talents to the cost to like an additional 20 talents to the cost.
We, in full honesty, probably about 15.
Great. You spend an additional 15 talents on additional pieces for outfits.
Let's be real.
You spend most of your first day after this adventure in the sewer just getting some new clothes, getting some more protective elements that you can work into your outfit without ruining the look. It's a great day of shopping.
I also want to, because they mentioned a mask, I would like to secure a mask. So I'm looking for like a masquerade ball, like a big shiny blue mask.
Yeah,
like on a stick.
There are definitely masquerade ball style masks that would be available in Waterdeep, for sure. There's actually a holiday in Waterdeep that heavily features masquerade ball style masks. Not quite the time of year for it yet, so there's not as many as would be on sale once you get closer to the holiday in question. which I'm blanking on the name of the holiday at this very moment, but you can still relatively easily find a mask for that. We'll say, even not, they're not that expensive, even for like very, very high quality masks. They're not that expensive. We'll say you could get like a decent one for 2 talents.
2 talents? Great. Excellent. That's day 1. I got things other days. I don't know how you want to do this. Do you want to do one day at a time?
We can sort of go through. If you have like a specific thing for each day, we can go through that. Or if there's just sort of a general overview you have, we can go through that.
I think the rest of my time, I'm just going to be going around to the various bars, taverns, and promoting Bright Shield Vintage.
Great. Yeah, you start doing that. It goes well for a couple of days. You're getting some interest. You're a very charismatic person, so talking with the barkeeps at various places, they express interest in the vintage. The 4th day after your adventure into the sewer, you wake up in the morning and feel just awful. You have a pounding headache. You didn't even drink that much last night. You have a pounding headache. You're somewhat feverish. You feel like weak and tired all the time. Upset stomach. Whole 9 yards. It is not. You are not in good shape this morning as you get up.
I become an adventurer, and people try to poison me. Great. I want to get medicine. I don't know. Scream for help.
Yeah, you can go find a doctor relatively easily. You very weakly go to a doctor's office in the rich part of town. You are met by we'll say sort of an elven woman is a doctor. You find her and she examines you and eventually says, it appears you have contracted a case of the sewer plague. Nasty bit of illness.
Oh my god.
Have you?
Is it fatal?
No, not fatal. If you take care of it, you should be fine.
Okay.
We can possibly take care of it now. I have some magic I can use to restore the illness, but that will be slightly more.
Yes. Please do that. Make this stop. I'm never setting foot in a stinky place ever again.
Very well, Master Brightshield. There is just the component of the cost of casting the spell.
Unimportant,
you say.
God, I hope.
Very well. I will just need to collect the funds prior to my casting of the spell. If you would be so kind, it is a slightly more powerful spell to cure a disease. So I am going to charge you 100 talents for the spell casting today.
Oh. Right. Okay. Went shopping too early.
Alternatively,
it's not that bad.
Oh, very well. I can write you a prescription for some traditional medicine.
Yes, please.
Very well. And she writes you a prescription, hands it over, and it says,
I'm a plebeian.
Take that to any pharmacy of your choice, preferably one in the area, as they will recognize my signature most likely, and they can get you some pills that should take care of the illness in 2 to 4 days' time.
Thank you.
You make your way out, go down to the pharmacy, pick up the medicine. It costs 10 talents to get the medicine.
That is much more reasonable for the current situation.
And you spend the next couple days bedridden as you take your medicine and recover from the illness. I'll actually, the next day, roll a constitution check for me. You do have a saving throw, excuse me. You do have advantage because of the medicine.
Ooh. That's cocked. Oh god, that's worse. This isn't going well. 8.
Unfortunately, second day you actually feel worse than you did the first day you had the illness. The next day after that, go ahead and roll Constitution saving throw again with advantage.
I don't count that on the thing. 14.
That next day you wake up, you're tired, but you don't feel ill anymore. So as long as you take it easy the next couple days, you should be good to go in time for the big job.
Stay indoors in my shame.
Great. You just kind of chill the next couple days before the big job. All right. Anything else from Artemis then?
No, he's gonna hunker down.
Great. I'm gonna roll and see who we get next. Janara, we'll do your downtime next. What does Janara get up to in the next 10 days?
For the most part, Janara is going to be training with Joyce as
Great.
usual. However, she did say she would bring masks for all of her new adventuring friends.
Great.
Janara would also love to grab everyone who didn't seem like they had some armor. She'd like to bring them some armor. And she'd also like to grab them some potions of healing because she's very aware of how dangerous adventuring can be.
Yeah, absolutely. You train with Joyce, and then you're gonna have to stop at the bank to withdraw some money from the account your parents set up for you. Your parents set a soft limit of 300 talents per week per 10 day, for the bank account. So I will say you still have I would say Janara probably usually doesn't withdraw the full amount on any given week, on any given 10 days. So you still have probably like 200 talents left in this week's sort of limit. And it's not even a strict limit. It's more like it's a soft limit. So it's sort of, it only like kind of raises a couple of questions or alarm bells if you pull out more than that. But
Okay.
200, you get out 200 talents. So you wanted to get masks. It should be easy to get your hands on masks. Are you thinking just sort of like cloth bandanas or masks or that sort of thing?
Yeah, nothing too. I want it to be sort of inconspicuous. I don't want to draw extra attention. So
great. You go shopping and get some like cloth bandanas and masks and that sort of thing. Very, very cheap to get your hands on some of those. We'll say 2 talents for the whole group to get just basic cloth face coverings.
Okay.
Quite a bit cheaper than a fancy masquerade ball mask.
Listen, I'm gonna look incredible.
You are. You absolutely are. You get those, and you said you were also interested in getting some protective elements for the various people in your group. You go ahead and just make like a flat intelligence check for me. No, well, actually, we'll say insight. Make an insight check for me to see if you can determine what sorts of protective elements the various people in your, that are going to be doing this with you would be suitable for.
I got 14.
14. Nobody seemed like they were wearing anything remarkably thick, so you don't know if anybody has particular armor training, and you know that like armor can actually be more of a hindrance than a help if you don't have training on how to use it.
Okay.
However, I would say that you did note that Bowman's heavy clothing and the way he carried himself, you would think that Bowman probably uses some pretty would probably be capable of wearing some pretty heavy armor lining.
Okay.
So you could get Bowman some some heavy lining for his like coat that could possibly help bolster his defense. You're not exactly sure how well guarded Bowman is in particular, but you could, if you sought out Bowman too, you could always ask him. But
I'll write. Well, yeah, I'll write Bowman and try to get information on that, and I'll.
So yeah, you go to write him a letter, and then you realize you have no clue where he lives.
Perfect. Okay. Maybe I'll do this a different time than after I ask people.
But that's okay. And then potions of healing. There's sort of a pharmacy / apothecary in your part of town that you go in, and you can pick up a few potions of healing. How many are you looking to get?
At least one a person, so 6, I suppose.
Okay, so
maybe more if depending on the price.
Yeah, so a basic potion of healing runs 50 talents. So that's to get 6 would probably be a little pricey. You could always withdraw more from your account, but I don't know how Janara feels about attracting that sort of additional attention in terms of withdrawing more than usual.
I have enough for 4. I'll grab 4.
Great. Yeah, you pick up 4 potions of healing. So yeah, that basically takes a full day to sort of do your shopping. You do stop at a place that you know has some sort of, they sell some sort of protective elements for folks, but you're not really sure what would be good for people, so you decide you'll come back later for that. You go pick up your potions of healing. And yeah, all that stuff. Is there anything else Janara would be doing over the course of this period of time?
I don't think so. I think I will stop by Sanctuary's place. I'll probably give him a little bit of the money. I'll give him like 10 talents for right now.
Yeah, he doesn't like taking the money as just as like a gift. He doesn't, but you tip him like extra every night, and
that's what I do. Yeah.
And yeah, that's how you sort of get around that, because he doesn't like taking it as a gift. But yeah, you do that. Just like Artemis, about 4 days into this this period of downtime, you wake up in the morning and you just feel absolutely awful. Fatigued, headache, stomach ache, whole nine yards. You just do not feel great.
Okay. I'm going to go to the doctor.
Yeah, by this point it would have rolled over into the next 10-day too, so you could take out a little bit of additional money as well. But yeah, you go to a doctor. Doctor tells you basically the same thing. Artemis heard you have sewer plague. So yeah, you can get it treated with a lesser restoration spell, which will cost you 100 talents, or you can go with the traditional medicine route, which costs 10 talents. Like I said, you can withdraw more money from your account now without drawing suspicion if you want, because it's the next 10-day. But
I'm just going to get the prescription.
Great. 10 talents to get the prescription.
Great.
And yeah, you spend the next couple days trying to recover. go ahead, roll for the first day after you get the medicine, roll Constitution saving throw for me with advantage because the medicine's helping you.
I got the same number twice. I got 6.
6. Unfortunately, no. The next day, you still just feel absolute awful. It's just horrible. Yeah. Go ahead and roll again for the next day.
13.
13 is going to be good enough.
Okay.
You do wake up and you feel, again, very tired, but you feel like you're mending. So as long as you take it easy the next couple of days, you should be good to go.
Wonderful.
Remember when we had all those natural 20s like last session?
Yeah.
There's still time.
Whoop.
There's still time. There's still time. All right, next up, Bowman.
Bowman's literally just gonna work. That's
Great.
it.
Yeah, Bowman just keeps his head down, keeps going to work. Your the other members of your crew are rather withdrawn during the next 10 day or so. They're quieter, not talking amongst themselves as much. You go out for drinks, once or twice with them, as over the course of the next 10 days as usual, but it's a little bit more of a down situation, which sort of happens when your boss, who's a dragon, threatens you. Day 10 of the 10-day rolls, of the first 10 day of the year actually, rolls around, which is payday. So Bowman, you get your paycheck. You know that you need to set aside, you don't have to pay rent because you're homeless, but you do have to spend a little bit of money just in terms of making sure you have enough to spend on food and drink and other stuff. So in terms of after deducting the cost of food and drink for the next 10 day or so, your paycheck comes to 10 talents.
Yay.
So that you can add 10 talents to your spending money, just a real great amount of wealth. So Bowman just works, nothing else for him?
No, probably adding to the spending is probably the newspaper every once in a while.
Great. Yeah. All right. Next up then is gonna be Nyx.
So first of all, when Nyx got home, she washed her work outfit because it smelled bad and she didn't she has a certain reputation to uphold. But I have a feeling that rubbing it against a washing board in water didn't actually get all of the smell out. So she's also gonna dig around and find somebody else's, one of her sister's old outfits to wear to work. And is my mom still home when I am getting ready for work the next morning?
Probably not. Your mom usually leaves for the canning factory before you get up, okay, because she's usually home before you. Okay. Same thing with your dad. Both leave for their jobs earlier than you do typically.
Okay. Then I'm gonna take back some of the money that I hid because I did some calculations overnight and I need some of that. But I'm gonna go to work. When I get to work, I'm going to leave my long pokey stabby stick in the bleach for a little bit because I stabbed people with it, and I am going to use it to untangle thread that will be used for somebody's clothes. So we're just gonna clean that, disinfect that a little bit, just get all of the gross stuff off. And then it's going to take me a good 3 days at least. Yeah, we're going to say 3 days to unravel this ball of thread. And that is what most of my time is taken up with. But on my way home from work one day, do I know where the black market is?
That's a great question. Do you know where the black market is? I think there's probably a decent chance you know where at least a place to get somewhat sketchy goods are. Go ahead. We'll say this is just going to be an intelligence check.
7.
7. Yeah, you knew a couple places that have since been shut down by the police. So unfortunately, you are unable to locate a new location at this time. With that being said, you know where a hideout for Vinny and whoever he works with is.
That's true.
So you could always go to that.
Yeah, I'm going to go ask.
Great. You go to Butcher's Butcher, say the code phrase to him, and he still lets you down into the basement where he says, there's no one here right now, but if you need to meet with one of them, I can send a message for you. It'll just be a little while.
Well, possibly you could answer my question?
I'd rather not. I try not to know more than I need to. I'm not really involved with them.
Gotcha.
Not really. I need help paying the rent on the building. And
But
this is a way to supplement.
I mean, it's not really like their stuff. It's more just like general knowledge. Like I used to know the answer to my question, but it has since gotten lost.
You can ask, but I try to mostly just mind my own business. But
do you know where a girl can get some stuff that maybe is not allowed under typical means?
The folks who rent out my basement room have a tendency to be able to provide those products. If you have a specific request, I could send that in a message for you.
Yeah, that might be more direct. It's not like urgent, but if they could have it for me, it's not anything like super illegal. Well, but if they could have it for me by the time I come back later this 10-day, can you put that in message? Is this like a message, like a limited message, or can you like, are you writing to them?
I write little, sometimes folks like you come looking for folks from that group, and I take little messages for them, and they stop by occasionally to collect any messages that have been left.
Okay. I need a component pouch.
As in components for what?
Just it's a gift. I know somebody.
No, I mean like what sort of
for
components?
spells. Yeah, my sister's employer's birthday is soon, and we like to exchange gifts.
Make a deception check for me.
16.
16?
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but oh, it's not.
No,
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
Oh man.
He looks at you with a keen eye and says, all right, fine.
thank
But,
you.
you know, I have a criminal organization written out in my spare room, so you don't necessarily have to lie to me about that.
About what?
I'll send the message. They'll probably want payment for it.
Yeah.
But I will allow them to collect that payment from you themselves.
Oh, okay. And I've never done this before, but I'm gonna tip him. And I'm gonna tip him 2 talons because I also need this money.
It's mighty kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're let out of the shop. Now, I also know you said to your boss on the day that all of this started that you had a rally for the Equal Participation Association coming up. And you also have your payday. So, Nix, you are expected to help contribute to your family's bills since you still live with your mother and father. So we'll go ahead and deduct your contribution to family's bills and also general food and living expenses. You also get 10 talents for your paycheck as additional money. But on day 10, you do have the rally with the Equal Participation Association. So you show up to it. It's being held sort of outside of a primary school in the Undercliff ward. And yeah, you show up. Several other members of the Equal Participation Association are there. They're sort of setting up some boxes. Your sister, Lily, is also there. Lily looks very much like you, gnome woman. She's got dark hair, tan skin. Her eyes are a bit larger than yours, very bright green. And when she smiles, she has little dimples in her cheeks. And she says, so good to see you, Nix, and gives you a hug.
Lil, oh my God, it's been a week. It's been a 10-day.
I'm sure it has. Yes. This is, and she lowers her voice a little bit and she says, this is just a rally, right? We're not doing anything crazy today, are we? Just a rally.
I did not bring anything that I would typically bring for a crazy rally, so you are safe. Don't,
okay.
And
okay, good.
I tell you when we have.
I know. I wouldn't normally ask. Nissa just she wants me to be safe, especially safe today. Our anniversary is coming up soon.
Okay.
So
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, no, we're just handing out flyers, talking, giving speeches, trying to collect some money.
As you say that, the leader of your particular branch of the Equal Participation Association sort of comes over. This is Brotor Big Toe. He is a dwarven man with dark skin, a short black beard, and short black hair. Most dwarves are pretty stocky, just in build. He is thinner than average for a dwarf, but still has more of a presence than you do as a gnome. And he says, Nix, good to see you, dear. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing. It's, life is life. Almost got fired because they blamed me for never asking about my criminal past. Like,
I tell you,
That's completely on them.
these assholes. I'm sorry that happened to you,
That's okay.
dear.
I still got a job
Well,
at this point.
it's important to put food on the table at the very least. We got to survive somehow. Are you interested in speaking today? I was going to get up and say a few words, but I didn't know if you also had anything you wanted to say today, or if you just wanted to hold up a sign and pass out
I'm just
flyers.
gonna hold up a sign. It's been a long week for me, and
Sure.
I've got some stuff.
I totally understand. Well, anytime you do want to say something in one of these rallies, you let me know. All right.
Yeah, of course. Oh, hey, has the donation pot been started yet? Have we gotten anything?
Nothing yet. We're just about finished setting up, so we usually don't get the donations rolling in until
Yeah,
after that.
I'm just gonna. I've got some extra cash this week, so I'm just
Oh,
gonna
get it started.
plop some
Gosh,
in there.
thank you as always, Nix. You really you're really something great. Thank you.
I dropped 5 talons in the.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Brotor gets up on these boxes that are set up and sort of calls out to attention for the passersby on the street. He has sort of a presence about him, so a few people come over, and he just sort of shouts out, my friends, listen to me. As you all know, the rich and powerful keep the right to vote locked away like precious gems and metals. They deny us the right to vote. They lock this ever important right behind ridiculous income requirements. And they bribe elected officials to make sure voting reform never passes. Why, just a 10-day ago, Representative Gerald Wilmington suddenly came out against opening up the vote to more people after supporting it during his campaign 5 years ago. And why? What is his excuse? What's the excuse of everyone who opposes these vital reforms? Why, they always say that we poor folk are not educated enough to make intelligent decisions. Well, if that's the case, then educate us, I say.
Yeah.
Fund public schools up through at least the secondary level. Make sure that our children can go to school until they're at least 16. They're always talking about how there's not enough jobs in this city anyway. Why are we making kids go to work from the age of 10? When adults could be doing those jobs and kids could be in school learning.
Yeah.
And he goes on and on like that for a while. And, a few people stop by and give some money to the pot and take little flyers and that sort of thing. So you spend the day doing that. Was there anything else during this 10-day of downtime you wanted to do other than sort of work and inquire about the component pouch?
I wanted to look at the leather case that I took from the bottom of the cistern.
You do. You open up that case and you pull out a scroll, and looking over it, there's sort of arcane sigils and stuff on it. This appears to be a magic scroll, and with your with the spell casting you've sort of picked up illegally, you are able to read the scroll. This is a scroll of the spell Catapult. So to let you know what the spell Catapult does, you may choose one object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within a 60-foot range that isn't being worn or carried. The object then flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction of your choosing before falling to the ground, stopping early if it impacts against a solid surface. If the object would strike a creature, that creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. When the object strikes something, the object and what it strikes each take 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
What level spell
It is a
that?
first level spell. And yeah, if you read the scroll, you can cast it. Or anybody who can cast spells can read the scroll and cast the spell. So Great.
Well, the other thing that I wanted to do was ask my mom about the guest that we had.
Yes. You get home. We'll say this probably happens on the first day of the downtime. You get home from work. Your mom's already home, sort of starting to get dinner ready. And she says, that's another person who works over at the canning factory. His name's Andrew. He's a very kind man, but he spreads himself a little thin. He looks out for some of the homeless orphans of the city, tries to give them food and shelter when he's able, but he doesn't have much more means than, actually, he probably has less means than us, to be honest. But he does everything he can to help.
Oh, yeah.
So he had just, I'd let him know if he ever needed anything to come by, of course. And he stopped by. He was a little down on himself. He didn't have enough food to feed the children the next day, and feed himself. And he was just saying he was going to just end up having to not eat today, actually. And I told him that was nonsense, and I made up some food for him to take home. So
you have a great heart, Mom.
Thank you, dearie. I appreciate the compliment.
I give her a hug.
Great. Well, that brings us actually lastly to Octavia and Penny. We can, presumably the two of you are working together for some of this, so we can do that part together, but if either of you had anything you were doing separately during this 10-day of downtime, we can also take care of that. But what do the two of you get up to?
I think we would probably start like investigations and talking to people that may have been
victims of the Watchful Order.
Great.
Just trying to get their stories.
Great. Yeah, why don't both of you make me an investigation check then, and we'll see how that goes.
Oh no.
Oh, 22.
Nice.
That's much better. I got 10.
All right. Yeah. So the two of you start your investigations, but the second day after you head into the sewers, Octavia, you wake up horribly ill. Upset stomach, headaches, fatigue. You can barely move. Your dad takes you to the doctor, and he actually offers to pay for the lesser restoration spell. Has to help his daughter, but that takes you out of the running for that day.
Yeah.
But Penny, that day you work alone. You get a little telegram at the office where you usually meet. Not a telegram, but it could be. I don't know if Pierre would send a telegram just like a couple blocks over, or if he would just send somebody to the office with the message. But so he sent. Octavia is giving me the sign that he would send a message.
He would send somebody.
So he sends somebody.
Runs himself over.
No, he sends somebody to the office just to let
Probably
you know.
Probably Jacinda.
Yeah. Jacinda, the housekeeper for the Beret family, comes to the office and lets you know, Penny, that Octavia is indisposed today. But to feel free to continue pursuing whatever work the two of you had been working on together. So you go out and you alone manage to turn up some pretty quality leads. Asking around, you following the information you got about the buildings that were being bought up by the Watchful Order, you sort of go into those neighborhoods. Primarily right now, the property that was getting bought up is over in the Dock Ward area. you head over there and you start asking around, and you learn from a few different people who live in this area that they had lived in those buildings previously, that the bank had sent them messages requiring the full payment, had sent the owners of those buildings rather, messages saying that they needed to make a full payment of the remainder of their mortgage or be foreclosed upon immediately. The owners of the building then turned to the residents of the building, said, we need all of your rent payments now. We're unable to get those from the residents of the buildings. And so then the owners of the buildings could not pay the mortgages to the banks, who immediately foreclosed all of those properties and then sent down agents to, remove people from the building. Like not police officers, like they hired people to go down there and kick people out of the buildings. And then immediately the next day, those properties were bought by the Watchful Order. So that is what you turn up with a 22. That is a fairly juicy piece of information. Yeah.
Cool.
No, go ahead.
As far as, so I imagine Penny's going to be doing most of the stuff with Octavia, but I think she'd want to try to find a little bit of information by herself by hitting up her friend Gail.
Yeah.
Just to see what's going on, but not necessarily want Octavia to know about him for
Sure.
his own privacy.
Yeah, you go to Gail barkeeps at the bar right across the street from the Waterdeep Times. It's called the Inkwell. He greets you. You see as you go into the bar sort of a larger human man in his 40s with sort of rusty hair and a matching mustache. He sort of says, Penny, how are you doing today?
I'm doing crazy. So much has happened in the last 10 days. Wild. Everything's wild. I could talk for hours. I usually talk for hours.
You usually do, and he's already pouring you a drink.
But it's just been crazy, and I have a lot to share. But first, the most exciting news I have for you in the tales of Penny Presswell's life is that I finally went to Pierre Bure's office, and I told him about the story that I was interested in, and he put me on a story.
Congratulations, Penny. This drink's on the house.
Thank you. You don't have to do that, but I will accept it for sure. Yes. But yeah, and that's not even the best part. It's kind of the best part, but the second best part is that he has his own daughter, Octavia, who is like perfect human being. And she's like basically my role model on this case. So I'm going to learn a lot, and I'm very excited about it.
That is very exciting indeed.
Yeah.
Elf.
Very, very proud of you, Penny. Very proud of you.
So that's kind of why I'm here. I love seeing you. No, I love seeing you.
No, you don't have to butter me up, Penny. I understand.
But I'm also on the clock right now.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right. He motions to one of his employees and says, take over the bar for a minute. And he gestures for you to follow him into a sort of a private room. Shuts the door. You can bring your drink in here with you. Just a small private dining area. He's got a couple of them in the establishment. Usually rents them out, but nobody's using it right now. As he shuts the door, he locks it, and then his form shifts. and he's much thinner now. And he sort of stretches. He no longer looks like a human man in his mid-40s. Now he looks like we'll say an elven woman in her 20s, and then shifts again into a lizard folk individual, cracks his neck, and then back into the human form that he so often takes. Ugh, it's so boring staying like this all the time, Penny.
That looks kind of painful. Does that hurt?
Shifting it's like stretching. It's nice. I like it. It's
Ah.
if I'm stuck like this all the time, it's just just wears on me.
Have you looked into getting a license?
No, I can't afford a magic license.
Yeah. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Gossip, what's the story you're working on?
Okay, so here's what we're working on right now. I have been looking into an increase in number of people that people practicing magic that do not have licenses that are being arrested. Like the number's been going up pretty significantly, which by itself isn't that weird. But I just learned earlier today that about these properties that were being bought in the dockworks, and it was like this weird thing. Basically, the Watchful Order. Yes, that is the name.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, the Watchful Order is buying up these buildings, which have the capacity of doing like a lot of things, and some sort of big event is going to go on, is what I'm convinced about. But they're buying all these properties up, which made the people that owned the buildings have to foreclose, and all these people had to leave the building. Basically, all these properties are getting bought up, and I don't know why. So I'm looking into it.
Well, I don't know anything. I haven't heard any gossip about this specifically. But I have some friends who may be able to provide some information. There's some friends of mine who are already not overly pleased with some of the goings on in the city, both with the Watchful Order and otherwise. Perhaps I can put out some feelers for you.
Friends are great. I love friends.
I will let you know if I hear anything back from them regarding this, but I don't have anything right now for you.
Okay. Thank you, though. Thank you for looking into it, as always.
Of course. Wait, before we go back out, and he makes himself look like you, and then back to himself.
That could be very useful on days where I need to be in like lots of places at once.
I suppose.
Think about it. I'm already imagining things.
All right, we'll see, Penny. Maybe that was a mistake, but we'll see. Goes back out in behind the bar. It takes back over. Great. Is there anything else that Penny and Octavia get up to during the 10-day? You found out the information. Penny, you share that with Octavia.
Octavia's
not the
very
conversation
proud.
with Gail, but the information you found out about the foreclosures.
Penny, I'm so impressed with what your investigation skills are.
Oh, it was really nothing. I mean, it was a lot of work. I did a lot of work, but nothing compared to everything you're bringing to the table.
Please, you're doing a great job.
Stop. Shut up. Just shut up.
Great. Payday does roll around for the two of you as well. Penny, again, after deducting your share of the bills for the home you and your father live in, you get 25 talents. And Octavia, you have no bills because your father pays for everything.
That's correct.
You're also the paper's star reporter, and your father's in charge of the paper.
Well,
Your
yeah.
paycheck is 200 talents.
Fantastic.
We love to see it.
So you get your paychecks, and then but if there's anything else the two of you would do during that 10-day, let me know. Otherwise,
Yeah, Octavia has been thinking about for a while, and she has finally decided to pull the trigger. Oh, hi, Ori. He just poked me in the side.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
he's like, "Mother, I need attention."
give him attention.
He wants attention because Octavia is gonna get her own familiar.
Very, very
Yay.
nice. Yeah, you buy the required components. You could also buy a couple extra,
Yeah, I'm gonna get like
rounds of it.
3 sets worth just in
Great.
case it gets yeeted out of existence.
Very easy to happen with familiars.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get some extra components that you need for that. And yeah, what?
And by 3, I mean 3 extras, so I'm getting 4
Yeah,
total.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Easy enough to do. You know a magic component shop that you go to when you need spellcasting components. They do have like basically, they check everybody's magic licenses before they can buy components here. But the owner here knows you, so doesn't really look at it. And sells you the components you need. What form does your familiar take?
A little brown owl.
Oh, very cute. Yes. So now you have a little brown owl who sort of perches on your shoulder and flies around you and hangs out. So you now have a familiar.
Yay.
What's their name?
That's a really great question. Her name is Lexa.
Lexa.
Oh.
Very
Yes.
nice. Lexa the owl.
Yes.
Cool. Great. So the 10-day comes to the 10-day between your trial and the actual job comes to a close, and one by one you all make your way back to meet with Vinny. So the day of the big job, it's the 16th of deep winter. You all go to Butcher's Butcher, and one by one, let into the basement and the side room where you see Vinny is there waiting for you. He's like last time. He's wearing a tweed suit. However, he's taken the jacket off, and the jacket's draped over a chair. He's pushed up to this sort of table in this room, and his top hat with the red band around it is sitting on the table in front of him. His dark hair is sort of slicked back, and he smiles at all of you. The smile not quite reaching his one good eye, but he smiles at all of you and says, my friends, so good to see all of you again. Come in, come in. And you see Freedom is also there. Once again, tiefling woman, shoulder length, dark hair, sort of greenish at the ends. She is wearing a sort of similar outfit as last time, with the red and green checkered pants with patches, the tattered vest. She's not wearing a tie at all this time. And one of her horns is as I mentioned, cut half off. So you all come in, and Freedom hands you Nyx, the component.
I'm gonna
pouch.
just like walk up next to her. Hey, how's it going?
It's going very well. I've got this pouch for you. We got your message. Boss, it's like, yes, of course. That is gonna be a good, nice 20 talents for the cost of the procurement of your desired good and or service.
Thank you. I'm just gonna like peek in and make sure that it's got like the
Yeah.
normal stuff.
Yeah, it's stocked with sort of the normal stuff you would expect to be in a magical component pouch. You all sort of gather around the table. There's no other chairs except for the one that Vinny is sitting in. But he says, all right, so here's the deal. I got an associate who's involved in politics in the city here. Specifically part of the People's Vote Coalition. Now, one of the former members of the coalition, gentleman by the name of Gerald Wilmington, recently jumped ship and joined the Purity Coalition.
I know.
I figured you might, Leffrey. Now, Mr. Wilmington is a newer member. He's in his first term, approaching the end of his first term in the Congress of Waterdeep. And my associate thought that he was well and truly on his side. But turns out somebody in the Purity Coalition got him to flip. Now, my associate believes that this is being done via a large bribe. Which, you know, my associate could just pay a slightly larger bribe, but then he gets into a bidding war with this other person. And he doesn't want to get into a whole bidding war situation with the Purity Coalition. You know, at a certain point, it just gets ridiculous. So he is looking to take a little bit of a different approach to get Mr. Wilmington back on the correct side of things. They tell you in negotiating that you can negotiate with either a carrot or a stick, right? You can bribe someone, or you can provide them some punishment if they don't do what you want. Now, my associate, as I said, believes that Mr. Wilmington is getting influenced to make this decision via a bribe, a carrot. My associate wants to see if you can find a stick, an appropriate stick for Mr. Wilmington. So, Mr. Wilmington, his wife, and his adult daughter are going to be out of their manor tonight, attending an opera. My associate would like to see if there's any incriminating information in his house that could be used to blackmail Mr. Wilmington to seeing things the correct way around. Only thing is, my associate's a little bit paranoid about my normal people going into Mr. Wilmington's house. The thing is, my associate does not want this traced back to him at all. And while my organization has been very careful not to allow any indication that we are working with him, he still wants to play things safe. He believes that the other side may be watching Mr. Wilmington's house, and if they see people that are known to be part of my organization going in, they may put two and two together. If they see unrelated individuals, such as yourselves, then maybe you're just some standard robbers, yeah?
Well, if I go in there, I mean, people know that I'm associated with the EPA. Wouldn't that look?
Well, that's why you're wearing masks.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna see your faces, presumably, right? That's the whole purpose of wearing the masks. So what they'll actually see is a gnome woman with a gang of other robbers. How many gnome women live in the city of Waterdeep? It's a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer. So that's the job. Breaking in, finding information that can be used to blackmail Mr. Wilmington. Not particularly interested in who may be bribing him. My associate doesn't care about that. I'm sure there is information in there about who's bribing him somewhere. not what my associate wants. Just wants information that can be used to blackmail this guy, all right? Now, while you're in there, try not to leave any trace that you're there, just in case the place is not being observed. But if it's unavoidable to leave a trace that you were there, make it look like a standard robbery. Just steal something valuable. I don't want, we can't have this connected specifically to gathering information. Does that make sense? Are we all sort of feeling good about this?
No, but does Wilmington
Perfectly fine.
typically have like a guard or like any kind of like where does he live?
Mr. Wilmington lives at the north end of the trades ward. He is upper middle class masquerading as upper class. So Mr. Brightshield, you look a little perturbed. Is everything okay there?
Yes, completely. For flavor, Artemis is also wearing a top hat with a cane, and he has tied a blue sash around his top hat.
Sure.
In a style that is very much making fun of Vinny,
Sure.
or at least mimicking him.
Sure.
But no, I'm just not very keen on, breaking into people's houses.
I understand. I promise you it's going to a good cause. This may be kind of a dirty way to do things, but if ultimately it means that more people get the right to vote, wouldn't most of you agree that's a good thing?
I mean, this does
Sure.
help my overall cause and motivations in life generally. So
See, and that's why Freedom here thought you all would be good for the job. Me, myself, I don't actually care that much about politics, but my associate pays me a lot of money to care, if that makes sense.
Could make a
And
good
you said
story.
You said the rest of the families at the ball, at the opera, at the
Yeah, they have tickets to the opera. They should be on their way there now. Now, here's the other piece of the thing. I'm gonna have some of my guys create something of a ruckus a few blocks over to draw away as many police officers as possible. Now, there will probably be a couple officers patrolling the block, so I'd recommend trying not to get spotted by them as you do your breaking and entering, but it should draw away the majority of the coppers.
Okay.
I feel like there's so much more information that I want to know.
Well,
like, does he live in a house or does he live in like an apartment? Is there a
yes,
doorman?
of course. I was explaining where he lives.
Yeah.
Excuse me about that. I apologize. I got a little sidetracked. Sometimes happens. He lives on Andmar Avenue. It's an avenue north end of the trades ward. Very nice town homes on that avenue, filled with other members of the upper middle class who all like to pretend that they have more wealth than they do. For instance, Mr. Wilmington's home actually has rooms for live-in staff. He can't afford live-in staff. Mr. Wilmington's home has a wine cellar. I don't know that he has enough to stock an entire wine cellar. But that's the sort of person he is. He likes to put on this show of wealth because that's what he's always aspired to.
Okay. Do you know if there's like a back entrance?
Yeah, there's sort of so there's the street side entrance. It is nestled between two other townhomes that it shares a wall with, right? So can't get in through the sides really, but you can go in through the front, and presumably it's going to be locked, but you all can figure out a way around that. And then at the back, there's sort of a row of stables associated with each of the townhouses for people's carriages. So if you find the correct stables around the back side of the townhomes, you could theoretically get in through there as well.
Okay.
Would Octavia know anything more about the neighborhood?
Yeah, make a history check.
Can I also make a
Yeah.
history check?
Artemis, you
For
don't
the
need to
area?
make a history check for me. You
Great.
know. What'd you get, Octavia?
16.
16. Yeah, you've heard of this neighborhood. It's filled with some very nice townhomes, very, very similar designs, but they're of pretty good quality townhomes. They're mostly 3 stories. Some of them are 2 stories, some of them are 4 stories. Sort of like at the ends, they're a little bit different, but sort of most of the ones in the middle are all 3 stories tall. Artemis, you know this avenue. You've been here. You've been there before. You've specifically avoided it since your previous visit to that avenue. But you're familiar.
Is this anywhere near where my sister Lily works? Because she
I would say,
works for an upper middle class. family.
yeah. It is not on the same street as where your sister works, but it's a couple streets over.
How far away is this from where Penny lives? Am I not in the trades ward?
Penny does live in the trades ward. Penny, I would imagine, lives somewhere in the middle of the trades ward. So this is a bunch of blocks sort of uptown of where Penny lives. It's like right on the edge of the trades ward where the trades ward meets the wealthy north ward.
Okay.
So
And if we do this, we're done.
the debts are done. You never have to see me again if you don't want to. Freedom here is going to escort you to Andmar Avenue, making sure that you're staying out of sight while you're in transit. She'll leave you there and come back here to me to let me know that the job is underway.
How are we traveling there?
You won't have to use the sewers today. Very well. Sending you all on your way then. Best of luck this evening, and if you get caught, well, you don't know nothing about me to incriminate me anyway.
That's a terrible way to send us off.
So long,
What
Miss
about-
Presswell.
What about like a good luck? Go team. Should we huddle?
I strongly believe that folks make their own luck. So go make yourself some good luck out there, Miss Presswell.
Oh my god, I hate this so much.
You all exit the establishment and begin making your way towards Andmar Avenue. As you're walking, you're sort of cutting between side streets and alleys as you're going. Have you you all don your masks? Janara passes some masks around. Artemis, you like pull out your fancy masquerade ball mask.
I'm gonna
No. I'm situated. Don't worry.
Oh my god.
That's
You
perfect.
get caught because you're sticking out because
How-
you won't wear the mask I brought you. I'm not coming
Look.
back for you.
Why don't you
Everyone
wear
wears these.
one that you tie around your face and cannot forget to put up
Or drop.
or drop?
And it also can't be traced
Can
back
I
to
roll
you.
for intimidation?
You could still wear
I
that.
would say we're not necessarily gonna try to intimidate roll each other. Artemis can decide if he's intimidated by you being intimidating towards him.
Yes. He's very intimidated.
It's a beautiful mask, though.
Yeah, you could probably still hold it, but like cover your mouth.
Right. It'll be an extra layer, Like
Yes.
we'll have the bottom
Mhm.
layer and then
Mhm.
haha,
I
you
love
still
it.
don't know who I am.
Exactly.
Yep.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Great.
It would help.
Right.
It would help disguise you better if you just didn't talk. Too.
That's
Just avoid talking.
What do you mean? What Oh, because I have such a perfect voice. You're right. Okay, I'll remember that. Do not talk. Do not talk. Do not talk.
Great. You all don your masks, continue your way across the city.
Hey guys, I'm pretty good at like sneaking and finding information and opening locks that don't want to be opened and taking things that don't belong to me. Did I mention that I've been to jail? So how like I'm going in that building, but I don't know if we all like are we all going in the building or
Well, I'd like to do some investigation.
Are we at the building yet?
Not yet. You're on your way. You're discussing while you're in transit quietly.
Yeah.
I would assume.
yeah.
Just a suggestion.
Actually, Janara could stay outside the building as a lookout.
Just a suggestion. I am arguably the biggest out of all the group. If anyone were to see us, they would assume, oh, big half-orc, obviously, robbery. So if we have to enter the building from any obvious place, I suggest I go in first.
Well, after I unlock the door.
Yes, obviously.
I mean, aren't you small enough? You could basically
Yeah, I
could
could
hide you.
I could probably just like hide under your coat.
Yeah.
He could put you in his coat. You could unlock it from inside his coat.
Smuggle me in. Also, I should not be seen associated with this place at all.
I don't think any of
Yeah,
us
none of us should be
associated with this
seen.
place at all.
No,
right.
but like they could come after my group.
Could hurt her cause if she gets.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, feel free to just hang out underneath my cloak.
I mean, it's a little harder for me to like investigate and look around if I'm
While we're still on the outside.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Octavia would also like to cast Disguise Self and just make herself look like a shorter, very boring looking human woman. Just
Sure.
like very like pinned back hair, understated clothes.
Sure.
Someone nobody would really take a second glance at.
Yeah. Easy enough to do. So
Also, do any of you like legal magic users have or any magic user have like a way of communicating with other people magically?
Wait, do I?
I do.
Because maybe we should
Nope.
have one person on
Wait,
the
yes,
outside
I do.
who can message just in case there's somebody coming, and then
I
somebody on
have-
the inside that can message back just in case we get into shit on the inside.
Well, the message spell itself,
Right.
You can respond to once.
Yeah, but like if something happens on the inside and we have somebody with message, they can message outside without getting a message. And then if something happens on the outside, they can message inside without having to receive a message. Does that make sense?
Right, well, we've got two.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So just we'll
I'll go
separate.
in.
Yeah.
I, not that it's important. I know this house. I can
Do you?
Like this
long time.
specific house?
Yeah. Maybe this specific. The back door's just real easy to in and out.
Did you live here?
No.
How
Did you know someone here
how old's the daughter?
Yes.
Oh my god.
or the son?
He just mentioned a daughter.
Daughter.
Or-
Daughter.
Or is it is it like actual Gerald Wilmington? Because that's also he's powerful.
Oh my god. Who was it? You have to tell us.
Penny.
Look, it's not important. Just we can just get in. I can go in and I can guide us to the study, right? But probably that's where he's got some
Probably.
shit or something.
Penny, you
So-
have to go in and do research.
Okay. Okay, but also, Artemis, you don't understand that I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about this. This is all I can think about right now. I need to know.
You're a
It
very
was,
good journalist. Keep your head focused.
Yeah, but
True, I
this
am.
isn't-
let's just call it. We'll call it a misunderstanding and move on from there. Let's not look. We have to do something very, very stressful tonight. So if we could just refocus.
Freedom from the front of group says,
I forgot you.
we are
Totally forgot you were there.
she was letting you all plan. She says, we are approaching the location. And she pulls up to a stop in an alley and says, Anmar Avenue, go up that way. She motions down the street and it intersects with Anmar Avenue. If you go across, and she points to another alley across the way, that is sort of the back street behind the stables of all these abodes. So, depending on how you want to do it. I actually have something separate as well. I know Vinny said he's not interested in who's bribing Mr. Wilmington.
Oh, I was already gonna.
I am interested.
Yeah.
If you can find the information about who's bribing him and meet up with me separately when Vinny's not there, perhaps at your home, Janara. I've been there before.
Okay.
And you
Joyce says
delivered.
that she trusts you, so I trust you.
I'm glad Joyce spoke on my behalf. I will reward you all for providing me with this extra information.
Sure.
Got it.
I appreciate it. Well, I better go back to bed. Good luck. And she heads off. So, as I understand it, the plan is that Janara and Octavia are going to stay outside, and everybody else is going inside. Yes?
Yes. Can Nyx use Janara's disguise kit?
I'm not
Would it help?
proficient in it, but
If-
I have a thing that I can.
Okay.
do.
Okay.
But thank you.
Great. So how are you all approaching? Are you going to try to go around in front, or are you going through the stables in the back?
Stables,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Just knock on that
Artemis-
front door.
Janara, would it be easier if we stay out front, because that's probably more likely where guards would be?
I feel like we should stay out front. I'm almost wondering if you and I should take our disguise off, because we're fairly wealthy individuals that might be well known, and I wonder if they wouldn't think that I wonder if we could bribe them if we're not in burglar's disguise.
I like your thought. I don't think wearing a mask is gonna help us any if we're out in the street.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm okay taking the mask off at I think I'll keep my plain disguise on.
Yeah. I'll do the same. And I took out extra money just in case we needed to bribe people.
You two are going around to the front, and the rest of you are going towards the stables in the back. Artemis, when you left before, did you sneak out the back and cut through the stables to get out, or did you go out the front?
It was the back side of the house.
Right.
It wasn't a door.
The only way to exit the property would have been going through the back door into the garden and then out through the stables.
Great.
So that if you're saying you exited through the back, then that's how you would have
Great.
made it out. So
Before we leave Janara and Octavia, does Octavia have her camera?
Yeah.
What is like? Can anyone use your camera, or can only you use your camera?
No, it's my it's what is it called? My arcane focus.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of just
Right. So I can't
Just
take it in to
sucked.
take pictures if we need to.
no, but you can take notes.
Yeah, I have my notebook.
Wait, so when you cast Disguise Self, did you take a selfie?
Ooh.
You know, I didn't even think about that, but sure.
amazing. I love it. Okay, yeah. Janara and Octavia, you go around to the front. Artemis, you know which stable is the correct one, so you go around to the back. Janara and Octavia, as you get to the front, you do see there are just you look around. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, you two.
Oh, natural 1.
No, hold on.
You're just a little bit nervous, Octavia. You've never done any. You've like bent some laws in your time as a journalist to get really good stories, but you've never like fully broken laws like you are tonight.
I got an 18.
An 18. You look around. The street seems to be fairly quiet. There's a few lights on in some of the townhomes, but nothing major seems to be going on. You do see there are a couple of police officers, just 2, just walking the street. They don't seem to be doing much besides just being on patrol in the area, making sure the neighborhood is safe. They're currently, so the avenue is very wide. In the center of the avenue are the trolley tracks, and then flanking the trolley tracks are like lines of trees, because it's a nice part of town. So, the officers will like walk down the block and then cross across the trolley tracks and then walk down the other way.
Is there like a bench around somewhere
Yeah.
where we can like sit down and look sort of inconspicuous?
Yeah, there's
like we're just
definitely-
having a conversation.
There's definitely a public bench. The two of you sit down.
Is there a
Relatively near the
public-
house.
What do you mean by relatively near?
I would say like there's so all the townhomes have sort of a an iron fence in front of them, and then there's a couple benches like in front of each like section. So there's like an iron bench. I would say there's one in front of the like divide between the house that your friends are breaking into and the next door one.
Okay.
So
And
I-
could you give like a distance on that?
probably within range of the message spell.
Thank you.
Yes. While the two of you are sort of just trying to appear casual and not at all sort of conspicuous, either both of you can roll a deception check or one of you can roll a deception check with advantage.
But I roll with advantage. I have luck.
Go
if I
for
need
it.
to use it. Is a 15 good enough? If not, I'll use luck.
15's not bad. I think 15 is probably good enough. These officers don't have any reason to be particularly suspicious of you. So as they walk by, the two of you just are sort of pretending to sit and like chat about stuff. And one of them, he's got one of those like very tall, like old-timey police hats, and just sort of tips in and says, "Evening, ladies," and keeps going down the street. So
Great.
around in the back, the four of you, there's sort of the sliding stable doors for the carriage and horses, and then there's another like person-sized door. Both are locked. So
can I first, do they seem trapped?
make an investigation check.
14.
14 doesn't seem trapped. You don't know why it would be trapped
Right.
necessarily.
I'm just being cautious. All right, I'm gonna use my thieves' tools to
Great.
pick the lock.
I'll keep a lookout.
Great. Make a perception check. Nothing catches your attention.
I got a 22.
22. Super easily, you unlock the lock for the person-sized door and open it up, and you all sort of hurry in. Makes you close it behind
I am
all of you.
also like peering out of Bowman's coat too.
Yeah. You like hide under Bowman's coat as you come in. You do enter through the stables. You see there are 2 horses in little stable stalls, as well as a decent looking carriage. Sort of.
Do the
off to
horses seem
side in
to
here.
recognize Artemis?
The horses look up and see all of you and go. They don't seem to
Sorry,
pay.
they go what?
So you're
they
I
don't
can picture it. Thank you.
So these are sarcastic horses.
Yeah. They don't seem to pay any of you any remarkable amount of attention. They've got like little, in their little horse stalls, they've got some hay that one of them goes back to munching. The other one just sort of watches all of you, but doesn't seem remarkably concerned about your presence.
Should have brought an apple or a
Yeah.
carrot.
Oh yeah.
There's another door that it's not locked, so you're able to open it up and you enter the back garden of the Wilmington abode. Artemis, last time you were here, you sort of rushed through it, so you didn't really get a chance to appreciate the back garden. But it's a very nice little garden. It's got sort of rows of well-maintained flower beds with some flower bushes as well, and some little gravel paths cutting between the rows of flowers. You see sort of the house like flanking the yard. The house makes kind of like an L. The exterior walls of the house are painted sort of a sky blue color with white trim around the windows. There's a window looking out over the garden in the wall opposite the stables, and then in the part of the house that's to the right of how you came in, because it's sort of an L situation around the garden and the stables behind the garden. The one off to the right, the side off to the right, you see sort of a lot of glass windows and some glass doors here, sort of a sunroom type deal. That's the way that you got out previously, Artemis. So,
Question: when we were going through the stables, was there an area for a carriage and an extra horse, or did those seem to be kept elsewhere?
So there were 2 horses in stalls, and the carriage was parked in there.
But they're supposed to be at the opera.
They are supposed to be at the opera. The carriage is in the stables. You don't know if it is because they were picked up. Maybe they took the trolley. Maybe they didn't go to the opera. You're
Are
not
there any
sure.
lights on in the house that we can see from the outside?
Can I roll for perception to see if I can notice any movement in the windows?
You can, roll for perception, Bowman. Penny, looking up from the backyard, there's no lights on in the windows you can see on this side of the house.
Are there lights on from the front of the house?
I mean, you all wouldn't necessarily know around the front to check for it, but go ahead and make your perception check.
I mean,
Do they know which
lights on all.
house it is?
You look around, just examining everything.
I got a nat 20.
Okay, you don't see any movement on this side of the house. Actually, correction. You don't see any movement at first, but then you catch out of the corner of your eye something move, and you look, and it's a cat inside the sunroom.
Wow.
Does it look like a real cat or like a?
Looks like
fake
a real cat. Around the front, what do we get for perception?
Oh, right. Non-natural 20.
The porch light is on, but that could just be they leave the porch
Normal.
lights on normal. From the front side, the curtains seem to be drawn. You see a very, very faint bit of light coming out of one of the windows up on the third floor. But again, you don't know if that's normal. or
Could
not.
just be left on.
But most of the other lights are out.
Are we in electricity time? Or are we still?
There's electricity in this part of town.
Okay.
There's not electricity in every part of town, but there is electricity in this part of town.
Are we in electricity time?
Are we in electricity time? Yes, there's electricity.
I want to, as we're going through the garden, like pick a handful of nicer flowers
Sure,
and then like tuck those in a pocket.
sure. Yeah, easy enough to do. You all are you all get over to the doors to the sunroom. They are locked. So, Nix, if you want to unlock that, or what are you thinking?
real apprehensive now that the carriage is still in the stables.
Ben, do I know off the top of my head? Do I know how many like wait staff or general size of the
Make
household?
just make a flat intelligence check, and we'll see if you would have picked that up.
Absolute garbage rolls. 6.
You have no clue. Vinny had told you there's no live-in staff for this household, and you didn't really interact with anyone else in the house other than the one individual that you were here with.
Liz. The name of that individual is.
I'll pick another flower.
Yeah, great. So are you picking the door next, or
23.
click opens up easily?
As everybody is like going past me, I drop out of Bowman's coat and just quickly you see like me murmur to myself and my hands move and I look slightly different. Like just certain features, like hair is a different color, eyes are slightly closer together, just
Great.
a little different. It's like when you're making a me and you're
Yeah, just like 2 clicks away.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, it's gonna be stuck in my head all night.
Great. Yeah, you all enter the sunroom area. It's got sort of a floral wallpaper in this room, with the the windows looking out over the garden. Furniture in here is that classic sort of sunroom style furniture, but a little bit more
wicker furniture.
Yeah, it's mostly wicker. Mostly wicker. There's is sort of a glass coffee table type deal. And you see a couple of lamps in here that are turned off. You see that there is a hallway off to the left of where you came in that leads further into the home.
You're gonna be sneaky.
I'm gonna whisper real quick. Who here has dark vision? Everybody except for Penny.
I think I have a.
But you have a flashlight.
Yeah, I have a
Penny,
flashlight.
so you
I'll
can
click it
pop.
on.
Okay, great.
Out of all the lamps that we can pass by that are obviously bulbs and not actual flames, Bowman's gonna go and actually just unscrew all the light bulbs.
Nice. Yeah, you
take them out or just unscrew them?
He's gonna take them out and put them in his cloak.
You start stealing flashlights as you go. Not flashlights, light bulbs as you go. Yeah, you, Nix, you said you're being stealthy. I'll have everybody make a stealth check for me as you move through the house.
My downfall. Ooh, 17.
17. Great.
I got a clunky 14.
Okay.
I got an 18.
18.
All of them.
11. Great. You're a little bit, as a group, you're not loud by any means, but you know, a couple of you like trip on a carpet or something like that. Artemis in particular.
I
But
can't see well through my mask.
yeah, your mask is obscuring your vision somewhat. You all do notice there are actually a couple of different cats. And then you know,
Do
I'd
any
say
of them look fey?
make a nature check.
I'm gonna send a message to those out front
Great.
and just be like, "We're in. How's everything going out there? Lots of cats."
I got an 8.
An 8. You're not sure if any of them are fey. You do notice one of the cats does look like it has wings, which would mark it as a tressim, but they're not particularly rare. They're just flying cats.
Is a Trussin like sentient? Like can
Can it
tell
talk?
someone what's happening?
No, they're just cats as far as you know.
Oh,
They're just cats with
We're-
wings as far as you know.
Yeah. Janara and I can respond, or whoever, I don't know who you sent the message to. I think it only works for one person.
I'll send it to Janara.
Great. So Janara, you can respond to that message
Oh, I
magically.
can? Oh,
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yep.
I'll just say there's 2 police officers walking about, but they don't seem to have any clue of what's going on.
about how many cats are there?
I'd say you probably spot 4 total as of right now. Plus the Tressim, so 5. 5 if you include the Tressim. Seem to like cats. You make your way down this hallway. Artemis, you have been thinking about the time you were here previously at the house and where they might keep that information you're looking for. Granted, your visit to the house was not super lengthy the last time you were
Sure.
here.
Morning.
But you know that there's a library / study in the front corner of the first floor, and then you know that there's a couple drawing rooms up on the second floor, and you think those might be the most likely places to check. And you also know that the third floor has the master bedroom, which is at the back side of the house, and the second bedroom, which is at the front side of the house. And so if you don't find anything in those other rooms, you know where the master bedroom is, because that might be a third location to check if you don't find what you're looking for in the first 2.
Do we
I
want
relay
to,
that general layout to everyone.
Do we want to split up, or are we doing this all together?
We can get out
Um,
of here quicker.
yeah,
We split.
Great.
let's time around all these. Why are there so many cats?
I like them. I think
I-
they're so cute.
I don't mind them, but why are there? I don't. Why are there so many?
So many cats, right? So many
Oh,
cats.
shoot! We should have had Octavia send her owl in with us.
Eat the cats, yes.
Oh my god.
No,
I'm like,
No.
what?
What?
no.
If you're splitting up, who's going where?
I'll take this the library.
Great.
I'll go to the study.
Study / library. So the 2 of you go
Yeah.
to the study / library. Artemis and Bowman, that means the 2 of you are going upstairs.
All right.
Pose a question, even though I'm not inside.
Go for it.
Would Artemis know whether or not there was this many cats last time?
Oh, Artemis would know. Yes, Artemis knows that there were
So
a bunch of
many
cats last
cats.
time.
Okay, all right, all right.
This isn't
I mean,
this isn't unusual. This doesn't strike Artemis as
great. Just
concerning.
making sure.
His
Well,
family just has a well. Maybe it is concerning, but not in it. They were here last time.
Great.
What the fuck?
So,
I want to
yeah,
know so bad.
you all make your way down the hall, eventually reaching the large staircase hall. You can see a staircase like snaking up to the third floor, all the way up to the third floor as you like look up. Artemis points to a closed sliding door. That's the library / study.
Ooh. I'm just gonna, since we're up near the front door, I'm just gonna sprinkle a couple of ball bearings on like
Okay,
the front
yeah, you
entrance
pass
area.
through the staircase hall and enter the entrance hall. Entrance chamber, it's got some paintings and photographs hanging on the walls, as well as there's sort of a mid-level ledge in here that has a few like vases and busts sitting on them. You see a photograph, the largest photograph is a photograph of the family that lives here. Presumably Mr. and Mrs. Wilmington and their adult daughter.
What does the daughter look like?
The daughter.
Just ask Artemis.
Yeah, you look in here. The daughter is, very, very conventionally attractive. She's wearing a very elegant dress, maybe with a few too many like frills on it. As well as a lot of jewelry, as actually both Mr. and Mrs. Wilmington are also wearing an exceptional amount of jewelry. Like in the photograph, it looks like they all put on all the jewelry they have in the house because they were trying to make themselves look extremely rich. The daughter, it's like a sepia tone photographs. There's no color necessarily, but all of their hair looks lighter colored. The daughter's hair is very, very curly, in like curly ringlets. The mother has similar hair, but not as much of it. She's, her hair's a little bit shorter. And then the father is sort of he's got sort of a chin strap beard deal, but all three of them look like their hair color is light, but you're not sure what exactly their hair color is. And all of them look like they have relatively light skin tone as well, but again, not sure exactly all the colors because sepia tone. But
Penny's gonna go up to the photo, and we're all here at this time, like all four. We haven't split up yet.
We haven't separated yet.
Okay, Penny's gonna go up there and she's like, wow, this family seems so rich. And oh my goodness, this woman. And she's gonna point to the daughter and she's like, she's gorgeous. And she's gonna turn to the group and be like, isn't she like the most beautiful person you've ever seen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very-
Woman, I think she's gorgeous. What do you think her name is? And her hair, that's such a beautiful color. Do you think it's like a red? Probably like a red, right?
No.
You don't think so?
No, not red. No. Well, golden, blonde, lots of girls.
Like the sunset.
Sure.
Oh no, you slept with the daughter of Mr. Williamson. Why are we here?
Listen, it was not my best moment. I will very much own up to that. I didn't know what I was doing, and I might have. Well, the details are like really, really fuzzy.
Hey guys, can we do this after? Because I only got an hour on this.
This seems like a post-interview.
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I check the
Okay.
ledge that's in the entrance table? Just see if
Mhm.
there's anything.
yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a couple vases and some busts,
No,
but there's
no
nothing,
like papers.
no papers, none that you see.
Um,
But you leave ball bearings inside the front door.
Bowman is gonna say to Artemis, after you, let's just go.
Yeah, Bowman and Artemis
Thank
start
you.
making their way upstairs.
Ooh.
Before they leave, Penny's just going to like tap Artemis on the shoulder and be like, good job, man.
I'm not.
No, that was good. she's beautiful.
As they're going upstairs, I'm just gonna give Bowman a ball bearing and be like, if you need a door unlocked, just drop that.
Nick's gonna place it in Bowman's giant hand comparatively. It's just this little
Yeah.
thanks. It puts it in the same pocket he has all the light bulbs.
Great. So Nyx and Penny, you go to the library / study. You go to the sliding door. It is also locked.
I'm gonna pick it.
Great. AKA Thieves Tool check. Something else. Okay.
13.
13. It's not a particularly difficult lock to pick. So you know this isn't your best work. You feel like it's just the angle's a little weird. You have to reach up a little higher than usual to get
I
the
was
lock
in
on
a
this door.
coat before.
You were in the
I'm
coat
like-
before, so it worked. But eventually you managed to unlock it and slide the door open. You enter the library. You see sort of a large fireplace against the far wall with bookcases flanking it, stacked with books. And then to your right are the front windows of the house. Drapes are closed with a large desk sitting between them. And then in the center of the room, there's sort of a couch and a couple of chairs and a small like coffee table, as well as a couple of side tables that have like closed cabinet drawers and that sort of thing.
Penny's gonna go to the desk.
Great. Yeah, you go to the desk. You're sort of going to open the things. One of the drawers is locked as you're pulling on stuff. But you open up the other ones. You find some papers in there. Just general correspondence. A couple letters to family, but nothing that looks remarkable in those open drawers. But there's that locked drawer.
I will have been searching I'm like in the couch trying to see if
Make an investigation.
there's anything in there. 11.
11. You pull out 4 half talent coins, so you've gained 2 whole talents.
Cool. I'll take it.
But you don't find anything in the couch cushions. But Penny, you've got that locked drawer that you found, and there's also bookcases and there's side tables. So
Next.
Yep.
Drawer.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Lock.
15.
15. Not too hard to unlock. You open it up, pull it out. You find a thick leather ledger. This looks to be what Mr. Wilmington uses for bookkeeping.
Well, this will tell us maybe who bribed him.
Yeah. One of you can make an investigation check as you search through this ledger with advantage, because I assume you're helping each other out.
I have a +6.
Investigation?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I have +4, and I was like, that's so good. But no, that's good.
Oh, wait. Yeah. 14.
14. Flipping through the ledger, you do see that Mr. Wilmington is getting a payment for a considerable sum of money every month from one O. Bloodkeith. O, first initial is O, then Bloodkeith.
Does that ring any bells?
It would ring a bell for you next. You work for the Bloodkeith Textile Company.
Fuck.
And
Shit, that's
the
right.
CEO of Bloodkeith Textiles is a dwarf woman named Ovina Bloodkeith.
Shit.
It seems that
Why
she.
didn't they fire me?
What are you talking about?
I work for this woman.
For Blood
Yeah.
Tea?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
While the two of them are finding all of this, Artemis and Bowman, you make it up to the landing on the second floor, and there are three doors up here. These all lead into various drawing rooms and others, just sort of gathering spaces for company, that sort of thing. Artemis, make another intelligence check for me.
Intelligence, general intelligence.
Yeah.
17.
17. Yes. You would know then that there's sort of two doors in front of you and then one door off to your right. The ones in front of you, the one on the left-hand side leads into a larger drawing room that is probably used as a game room. The one on the right, the one that's in front of you on the right-hand side, rather, you would know has sort of a meeting table in it, and would be the more likely of those two to be to have what you might be looking for. The door all the way to the right, you would know is the daughter's entertaining room, where when she has company over, this is where she entertains her company.
Let's try door number 2.
Yeah, you open the door. It's not locked. This one's not locked. And you enter this drawing room. You find you find it's sort of table in the center of the room, a few chairs dispersed around it. There's a fireplace in the far wall. And you also see there's like a couple of ashtrays on the table in the middle. You can look around. Both of you go ahead and make investigation checks for me.
Yeah. Do the ashtrays look like recently used in any chance, or have they been empty?
We can include that as part of your investigation check.
Bowman got a 15.
15? Okay.
Also 15.
Great. Yeah, you two look around the room. The ashtrays don't look like they were used super recently. But they don't look like they've been cleaned out. They would probably be cleaned daily, so they were probably used like earlier today, but not anytime within the last couple hours.
Okay.
There's no like still warm butts or anything in them. The two of you look around the room. There are like a couple of drawers in this table, like in the underside of the table, that are locked. So Bowman, you think you could probably just yank it out, but it would damage the drawer and lock.
Is it the type of drawer where you can't see the bottom of it from the underside of the table?
Evens or odds?
Odds.
Hesitation.
It is the type of drawer where you cannot see the bottom from under the table.
I'm perfectly fine with breaking this. I don't give a shit. This person's an asshole.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we could just take the whole table if you want. And, as he says that, he's gonna lift like half of it, just like, it's probably like maybe like 2 crates worth. You can get the other end, right?
I would, but after our last adventure, my back has just been can't you just like drop the magic ball and it'll unlock it? That's what she said would happen, right?
Nick said about that for doors, not drawers.
Artemis. Okay.
Bowman, go ahead and make an athletics check to just break this drawer open.
That was a 14.
Not a remarkably high DC to break open this drawer. Funny enough, yeah, you break it open, and you find some documents in there that look private. You look through them. A couple of them seem to be correspondence or agreements signed between Mr. Gerald Wilmington and other government officials, but those don't necessarily strike you as what you're looking for. You do find a copy of a contract with one O. Bloodkeith that says that Mr. Wilmington agrees to vote with the Purity Coalition in exchange for a 300 talent payment each month.
Right.
When does
Let's
it
pocket
start?
that.
When does it start? You would know from the ledger. It
Yeah.
started, like it's the ledger notes the first payment is a couple months old, but you would also know because of the Equal Participation Association that he just announced that he was not going to be voting in favor of opening up the vote. So presumably it took some time to hash out the full details, but the payments have been coming in for a while.
When was he elected?
He was elected last election season 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So the election is coming up later this year for the government of starting next year. Basically.
In the room is what else is in the room? And like, is there any more furniture, paintings on the wall?
Yeah, there's some relatively nice chairs. There are a couple of nice little like statuettes on the mantelpiece. There are some paintings of sort of this of like rustic style paintings of the countryside outside of Waterdeep.
Bowman is going to take one of the little statuettes, like the smaller one, and he's going to just move all of the paintings, look like they were just like, jostle around, seeing if anything was behind them.
Right.
And he's going to break the chair that was in front of the drawer. Just break just one leg off. Make it look like something happened.
Right. Yeah, you're sort of going around doing this, making it look like just a standard burglary. You hear somebody coming down the stairs, and you hear and you look, and there's a young woman in her 20s, hands shaking as she's pointing a shotgun at the two of you. Golden blonde hair in ringlets. She is wearing a simpler dress than you saw her in last time, Artemis, as she is just wearing it comfortably around her home. And she says, "Who are you and why are you in my house?" Very like panicked voice. And the two of you downstairs hear that as well.
I am going to roll for persuasion.
What do you say?
I say, I do apologize. We were in a party a couple houses down when my cat got loose and came into your house. Then by cat, it is a large cat. I am a big cat collector. It came in here.
You are making a deception check, and you are making it at disadvantage, good sir.
Oh, fine. Ah, fuck you. It's a non-natural 20.
With disadvantage?
With disadvantage.
What was it before?
It was a nat 20 with this.
She's like, that's a high roll. She doesn't seem entirely convinced though why you broke into her, why that would cause you to break into her house. She says, why did you come in here? Why did you not ring the doorbell or knock?
We didn't want to wake anybody. And it's a dangerous cat. It could have killed you.
We clean up cats.
Shut up. Remember the no talking point that I said earlier? He whispers over to Artemis. She might know you.
Hang on.
God.
She
I look away. I look the other way.
hang on.
Hello.
Artemis.
Who? I'm going to cast message to Nyx and real quickly say, the daughter's upstairs. Please leave, please leave, please leave. We need to get out. We got a letter. Please leave.
Can we tear this real quick? Can I just look around the room and see if there's anything that is like could be used for blackmail besides this letter?
Can I look under the desk?
Yeah, because you still haven't found the blackmail information yet. The two of you get that message, but the two of you go ahead and make more investigation checks for me.
I just messaged back. Yeah, just give us like 2 seconds. Fuck.
The young woman says, Artemis,
I'll turn around. I will take off my mask. Surprise.
What are you doing here? Are you here to rescue me from my boring fucking life with my parents? Because I'm for it. You could have just told me that's what you're here for.
I didn't want to upset you, and I wanted to surprise you.
While this is going on, Bowman's walking around going, puss, 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 puss.
Nyx and Penny, what did you get?
I got a 14.
14, 18. Two of you do a pretty thorough look. You don't find anything that would be incriminating blackmail information. Whatever
Can
it
I
is.
Scribble something with my forgery kit and make it look convincing.
Ooh.
Make a forgery kit check would be your proficiency and dexterity.
14.
Artemis make a deception check for me. Just flat. 14.
Yeah.
Not your best work, but it's passable.
Okay.
Oh no, I have to stop rolling this dice. 12.
Her face falls. Why are you really here, Artemis?
All right. I am back in town. Hello. And this gentleman the cat man. We are your singing telegram to tell you I've come back for you. And it was supposed to be a much more
Artemis, I
wonderful
already
thing.
If I read more into this, you could have just told me.
I'm gonna go in the hallway and keep looking around.
She brings the gun back up. Hang on a second, you're robbing my house.
I have
Why?
nothing.
Why are you robbing my house, Artemis?
What, you think we're robbing you?
You've broken a chair and you're...
Yeah, Artemis, why are you robbing my house?
Weirdly, I believe the half-orc more than I believe you, Artemis.
Okay.
Bowman's gonna talk to this lady and just go, excuse me, ma'am, what is your name?
My parents named me Goldilocks, which is
what do you go
a
by?
name.
What do you go by?
I don't know. I don't have many other people except my parents and all the boring suitors they bring by. I thought I found somebody interesting, but I guess not.
Oh my god, Artemis is terrible.
Bowman goes, well, I saw in the garden you had some flowers. What is your favorite flower?
Always been partial to roses.
All right. Well, it's nice to meet you, Rose.
Her make a persuasion check for me.
Oh, I did. It was persuasion.
Wait, can I help? Did I pick a rose?
Shut the fuck.
You did pick a rose.
Persuasion was a 16.
That's good. She said she smiles a little bit at you calling her Rose. She sees you pull out the rose and she's like, she takes it, but she's like, all right.
Bowman's gonna continue. Now, I do not know your history with this tight pants man. So I cannot speak for him, but he is honest and he is true. He's a bit loud at some times, but I know more than I can say just now about not loving the life you live. And I can't imagine the type of hell you're in right now. I'm sorry for what my associate has done to you before, but if you would be so kind just to let us pass, and I will promise that he will write to you at least once. Right, Artemis.
Yeah.
The gun lowers a little bit and she says, the only child of my parents, and my whole life they've sort of sheltered me, and all they really had is books and the boring people my parents tried to set me up with. And I don't know, Artemis seemed interesting when I met him, but I guess he's no better than a dog.
Yes, I can see that.
But I still don't understand. Why are you actually here?
To level with you, Rose. I don't fully understand the whole situation, but there might be some bad things happening, and we're trying to avoid that. And I can definitely see inside of you that you don't want anything bad to happen to people who don't deserve it, correct?
Yeah, that's true. Make another persuasion check for me with advantage. That was good.
Would
I
this
think-
girl help us?
I'm not gonna push it.
Okay.
That was another 16.
If you think there's something bad going on, you can finish what you need to do. If Artemis gets dinner with me tomorrow night so that we can talk.
Oh, Artemis will definitely be at dinner tomorrow night. Is that right, Artemis?
You see, since this last monologue of hers, his face is no longer like, holy shit, there's a gun up my nose. It's like, it's still white as hell, like just pale. All the blood rushed from his face. But there's like a different, there's a different look
Yeah.
on his face. It's almost like he's like seeing her a little different. And you say that he's, yeah, I can, tomorrow.
I can file a police report if you don't.
We can go right now if you'd rather.
Tomorrow is fine.
Tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Very, very well. You can finish what you need to do. I
Thank
will
you.
return to my room and keep reading, and after you leave, I will do my best to clean up the mess you left behind.
Thank you, Rose. I am in your debt. Artemis is in your debt too.
Yeah.
She goes
Yeah.
back upstairs. As she's going back upstairs, she calls over her shoulder. You could check my father's personal belongings in his room. Keeps a couple things locked up, including the gun cabinet, where I got this.
Thank you, Rose. Good night.
You the two of you downstairs heard some of that. You don't really find anything else in the study, but you heard pieces, not the whole thing, but you sound, it got quieter again.
I whisper to Penny, so do you think we're still supposed to make this look like a robbery? Like, are we still supposed to steal stuff?
Is there anything to steal in here?
I mean, there's definitely stuff to steal in here.
We could
There's
steal a
couple
bunch of
art
books.
pieces. There's some books. Yeah,
What was the first thing you said?
a couple art pieces, some books.
Anything small?
Yeah, there's like a small, like fancy looking, like crystal dish thing on the mantelpiece.
And he's gonna pick it up and be like, should I break this?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I
Send a
already
message to someone.
I don't have that
Why can't you do that?
because I already responded, and I don't know that spell.
Back upstairs while they're debating that, Artemis and Bowman, what's your next move?
She said go to her father's room. Maybe go there.
Yeah, it's this way.
Yeah, you go up, you follow her upstairs where the two bedrooms are. You see the bed.
Do I remember to send another message to the guys below?
If you want, yeah, you can send a message.
See
Please?
if I remember. I don't remember.
Artemis is too distracted right now.
Can Bowman say, hey, can we let them know? They may have heard some of that downstairs.
Oh yeah. Sorry. What should I let them know?
Probably that we're going up to her father's room, and then we're probably set to leave.
Okay.
Oh, and don't break any crystal glasses. Just a hunch.
Specifically.
Hello. Slide update. we're going upstairs. All seems all right. Don't break any crystal glasses. And
he's like,
how's it going? Oh, I'll send it to Penny.
Can I? Okay.
Sorry.
and you can respond, Penny.
How many words do I get?
25, I think.
Okay, she's
25 characters.
Okay, sounds good. We found ledger of the person bribing them. Good to hear. Everything is good. We'll be here. This is Penny. Oh. Bye.
There isn't a word limit that
No,
I
I
see
know. I
on
want
the
to use as
spell.
many as I
Oh,
can.
maybe I'm getting you confused with the sending spell. The
Oh.
sending
Message-
spell has a
Yeah,
word.
Message doesn't have-
Message.
Oh.
Okay.
Message
Okay.
doesn't have a
Sorry,
word.
I like
that's,
to think-
that's
I-
my bad. That's
I
my
like to
bad.
think-
I could winter of discontent in your ear, and we would be fine.
I'd like to think that Penny doesn't know how that spell works, so she's like, I have 25 words. We're gonna
She's
use
read
them all.
somewhere that there's
Uh,
only 25 words.
yeah. The Artemis and Bowman, you reach the third floor. The door off to the right would lead into Goldilocks or Rose's room. Is closed. You see a little bit of light coming from under the door, but it's closed. There's an open doorway in front of you, and her room will be on the front side of the house. There's an open doorway in front of you leading into the dark master bedroom. The two of you enter. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Great. I'll also send a quick message to Octavia, just saying, daughter's home. Let me know if the parents come back. It's okay though. It's okay. It's going well.
Great.
Bowman got an 8 for investigation.
Okay.
Why am I rolling this die? I think I got an 8 too. Oh, 7.
The two of you are looking around. You don't turn up anything interesting. You're both a little distracted. It's kind of a weird encounter you've had. You open up one of the closets and you see a bunch of dresses in there. Like, oh, this is Mrs. Wilmington's closet. So you're just, the two of you are a little bit distracted. Penny and Nix, the two of you, they've been like, they sent that message and then you haven't heard anything. Do the two of you go up after them or do you just wait?
Yeah, Penny's gonna suggest we very quietly try to see what's going on upstairs to get to them.
The two of you make your way upstairs quietly. Don't have to roll another stealth check necessarily, but make your way. You get up there. They're just sort of looking around the room, but they're not doing a very good job of it. They seem a little off.
What the hell happened?
Nothing. The maid came.
There is no. Why is the maid here so late?
Penny's
Penny-
gonna start checking the room.
Yeah, the two of you can make investigation checks now.
Well, non-natural 20.
Nice.
I got an 8.
Well, wow, wild.
Uh-oh.
Penny, you're going through. First of all, you do find the gun cabinet. Looks like it was locked. Not locked anymore. Open it up. There's 3 guns inside. There's a very fancy looking shotgun, very fancy looking rifle, and then a very nice looking pistol with a glowing purple rune near the muzzle.
What does that mean?
Yeah, would
Sure.
I?
Make an Arcana check.
13.
13. Seems to be magical, but you're not sure in what way. But you also find, Penny, a small lockbox in the closet. It is locked.
I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna go like this, and I'll be like, Nix, lock, box, lock.
Is it up high or is it down low?
It's like on a shelf, like midway up the wall. You could reach it. It's a little, you'd have to like stand on your tiptoes, but you could reach it.
Okay. I'll pick the lock.
Sure.
Okay, 22.
Easy enough. You pop it open. Inside, you find a collection of letters. Flipping through the letters, this appears to be a series of correspondence with one Matilda Marcus. Matilda Marcus, looking through the letters, takes you a few minutes to go through them. Matilda Marcus seems to be a former housekeeper of the Wilmingtons, that Mr. Wilmington is sending a not inconsiderable amount of money each month.
There's a love child.
To keep quiet the reason why she was let go, which is that they have a bastard child together.
I wanted to take one of the letters.
The most
Particular-
damning.
Or a couple
Yes.
of saucy ones.
Yeah, you grab a couple that you think are particularly damning from the lockbox and then close it and lock it back up. Unless there's anything else anybody wants to do in the house, you all
Let's get the fuck out of here.
great. You all
I pick up my ball bearings and the.
you all exit the premises, trying to clean up after yourselves as best as you can. Presumably you send a message to Octavia and Janara. You meet back up back outside.
Yeah.
You all are gathered back together in the alley behind the houses now.
Well, I have to quit my job. So, Janara, did your friend say that they had a position?
He needs to meet you first, but if it doesn't work out with him, you can work for me at my estate.
Okay. Can we do that tomorrow? Like, either tonight or tomorrow?
Sure.
Thank you.
What happened?
Oh,
Oh, boy.
we found out that the person that Artemis knows was definitely the daughter. I found that out.
And then they apparently ran into her. Like, she did not go to the opera. And Artemis has a date tomorrow night.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
Oh, and we found the letters.
Yeah.
That's
There's a
pretty important.
There's a mistress past housekeeper that Mr. Williamson is sending money to, and we have the letters, and we're good. We're good.
Who was bribing?
Are we sure we
him?
want to?
Oh, it was my factory's CEO.
I understand now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get why you need to quit.
Yeah. Very much a
Are we
Artemis.
sure we want to hand this over?
Yes.
We have
I mean, like,
What's
I
the
mean,
other
because-
option?
socially, the entire family's fucked if this gets out, right?
Yep.
Like, no one's gonna give them a chance ever again.
Yep.
well, the way that blackmail typically works is that you threaten it and then they change and then it does not get out. But that threat, that it's always there, it's always dangling. So we could not give them all of the letters. We could keep some
or burn that.
or burn them.
But I mean, if you think about it, if we hand these over, that's none of our business. After this, we never have to hear from Vinny or Freedom again, and you're in the clear.
Plus, maybe I can vote.
That'd also be cool.
That would be very nice.
You can't vote.
No, I do not make enough money to vote.
What did you?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Shit. Sorry.
Does Penny?
No, I can't vote.
Yeah, the only people here who make enough money to vote are Octavia, Artemis, and Janara. But Artemis is also a foreign national, so probably also doesn't vote. Well, no, he's not a foreign national anymore. He used to be. But no, he probably has the right to vote.
Yeah.
But he's not a resident of he's not like a permanent resident of the state of Waterdeep. So he'd have to absentee ballot, basically, for his home area.
So we're weighing the rights of thousands of people to 3 stuck-up pieces of crap.
Well,
Yeah, and plus it didn't seem like
sure.
Goldilocks liked her dad that much.
Yeah, if anything, this is gonna spice things up.
Mhm.
Kick her out.
Not a boring life anymore.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right.
You all
Sorry.
start making your way back, following the back alleys. Artemis, you're feeling seems like you're feeling a little bit apprehensive about all of this. At one point, you are making your way down an alley that gets to a T intersection, and you know you need to go down this alley and turn right at the T intersection. As you're going down this alley, you hear from behind you, "You will all halt immediately." Turning around, you see a figure in all black, with thick goggles covering their eyes and a mask covering the lower part of their face.
Do they look like a police officer?
They do not look like a police officer.
Oh,
None that you've seen.
They look like watchful order.
I'm assuming Octavia and I have put our masks back on.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
assuming everybody's put their masks back on.
Do they look like the Watchful Order? Is that what?
Make an intelligence check for me.
Okay. Straight intelligence.
Yeah. History, actually. You can make a history
22.
check. 22. This looks like the rumors you've heard. of the-
22 if it's just intelligence.
You've heard rumors. You've never seen one of these people in person, but you've heard rumors. This is an enforcer for the Watchful Order. They hold out their hand and a shimmering blade of energy appears in their hand. "You all are under arrest by the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors." And they snap their fingers, and coming out of the ground next to this individual is a swirling purple energy creature of some kind with a snarling face. And as you look both ways at the T intersection, two more appear at the end of each of the alleys. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Well, won't that be a good story for the newspaper?
Thank you all for playing, and thank all of you for watching. As always, do all those normal YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, share the video. This one's a little bit longer than most of our other episodes, but hope you enjoyed the ride, and we will pick up with this ambush next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.